Today's video is a special one because we're looking at my all-time favourite movie, Pulp Fiction, released in 1994 and directed by Quentin Tarantino. And it also happened to, change my life. But before getting to that, let's get the obligatory review out the way first. So why is this my favourite ever? Well, taking everything into consideration, it's not a film that inspires me deeply, or hits me in the heart, or challenges my perspective. It's simply the case that everything about it, well, almost everything, is executed to damn near perfection. An elite tier cast on hand here. John Travolta making the ultimate comeback from the brink with his finest role ever as Vincent Vega. Samuel L. Jackson, meanwhile, exploding into the mainstream as the epic Jules Winfield. Uma Thurman is iconically sexy Mia Wallace. Bruce Willis returning to form as the hard and troubled Butch. Harvey Keitel was the cool, nonsense, sugar on top Winston Wolfe. Ving Rhames, the badass boss Marcellus Wallace. Tim Roth and Amanda Plummer, bookending nicely as Pumpkin and Honey Bunny. Eric Stoltz as the hyper Lance and Rosanna Arquette as his pierced wife Jodie. And Christopher Walken in the chef's kiss role of Captain Coons. Plus other notable bit parts. Frank Whaley as Brett, Paul Lamar as Marvin, Dwayne Whitaker and Peter Green as Maynard and Zed, Kathy Griffin randomly shows up. The cast is ridiculous, but aside from the standout acting, it's the insanely brilliant chemistry they all share with each other. Just like with The Simpsons for example, it's exciting to watch all this ragtag variety of people interact, spouting out some of the greatest and most naturally sounding entertaining dialogue ever jotted down on a typewriter. Along with the writing, Tarantino's direction is also off the charts. He efficiently manages to deliver a story out of sequence in a way that makes sense and that anyone can easily follow it. Then it's so interesting to see again on a second viewing, knowing how it all ties together and how it's going to play out. The late Sally Menke ensures that in her role as editor, while also keeping such a tight pace, flowing so much of a swift consistency and an often wild, chaotic, high adrenaline, coked up energy that you'll never notice that this runs at 2 hours and 30 minutes. I can't think of that many movies that are littered with so many legendary scenes smooshed in one package. The opening in the diner, Royale with cheese, foot massage, breakfast, Ezekiel 25:17, Pride effing with you, Jack Rabbit Slims, the overdose, ketchup, the watch, the boxing match, the taxi cab, retrieving the watch, the chase, the gimp, the act of God, Marvin, the Bonnie situation, and the finale in the diner. Wow, just bell to bell, classic moment upon classic moment, stacked one after the other. And the soundtrack, by God it rocks. Miser Low, the main theme being a great surf rock jam. Then you've got Jungle Boogie, Let's Stay Together, Preacher Man, Never Can Tell, Be a Woman Soon, Flowers on the Wall. An eclectic mixture that just satisfies the soul. I only have a real couple of negatives altogether, and both of them are acting related. Firstly, Maria de Medeiros, Fabienne. And I feel so bad because she's a great actress, but she's written as so whiny and incompetent, although she does sneak in a couple of good lines. And then there's QT himself as Jimmy. And when on screen, in amongst this awesome pool of actors, he sticks out like a weak, dweeby sore thumb. It feels like he's trying too hard, especially when he's dishing out the N-word like it's nothing just because he can. Yeah, a Hitchcock cameo, this ain't. And that's Pulp Fiction. And I reckon it'd be insulting to suggest you all, by this point, don't understand why this is my favourite movie. It is a true cinematic masterpiece. But it's not just me who loves it to death. So in their own words, my friend, Jack Rabbit Slim's twist champion, Gemma Trainor.
Pulp Fiction, what can I say about it? Well, it was my first ever Tarantino film. Of course I was intrigued by the whole non-linear storyline. It kind of keeps you on your toes because you're like, didn't something happen to that character? Why is he back? And then you realise, oh okay, it's non-linear. Tarantino winning for best screenplay for this film makes so much sense. Like, even if you're just reading the script, you could just tell it's witty, it's funny, it's jam-packed, there's quite a bit of action in it, and there's some bits in there that'll leave you a bit grossed out, a bit freaked out, but most importantly, it's memorable. Tarantino has his gift of picking great songs for his movie soundtrack. This is one of the ones that will always stay in my head rent-free. Every single song that he uses are great songs or is on his own, but then when you put it in the context of the film, they work so well. Of course, with every director and writer, that's always good, but another thing they need is great actors. My experience with John Travolta before all of this was obviously Grease and Hairspray, so seeing him in this is a completely different light of him. He really captivates the role well, and I think it helps that even though he's doing his more dramatic role, Tarantino's like, hey, do you still want to keep dancing though? Like, I kind of need you to dance. And obviously Uma Thurman, who he has a great relationship with, she went on to do Kill Bill, she was great in this. I think this was like her first proper big role, if I remember rightly, and she was great and all. Despite the fact that she wanted Tarantino to change the Never Can Tell song, she thought, she didn't like the song, but Tarantino's like, trust me on this babe, trust me on this, it's gonna work. The fact that this is Samuel L. Jackson's only Oscar nomination, I mean, it makes sense because he's great in it, but in the grand scheme of things, you feel like Samuel should have more than one, and even then, it's a shock he didn't even win. I'm still flabbergasted by it to this day. He's definitely the most memorable part of that film. The whole monologue of him at the flat and then also at the diner when he's like trying to stop the guy from stealing all the money and everything. He's just great. He has so much charisma and it still carries that to this day. Yeah, like basically Pulp Fiction is just great in so many ways and there's a big reason why all the film bros rave about it. I highly agree. It is a great film and I recommend it to absolutely everybody. Even folk that I know that might not like this genre of film, I'm like, you still need to watch it. It's still good.
Thanks very much, Gemma. Now at the top, I mentioned how this also changed my life. So I was 15 years old when I first watched this. I definitely enjoyed films up to that point, and I was slowly becoming more of a meaningful fan of the medium. But seeing this was like a whole different ballgame. I never witnessed anything like this. The style and the manner in which it was done was new to me, and it really opened my eyes to the art of filmmaking and cinema as a whole. It awoke something in me, and from that point on, aside from being introduced to Tarantino, who became my favourite director, it cemented me as a movie buff, and ever since, I've collected and amassed a hefty DVD collection which currently stands at over 1200 flicks, while also transforming me into the very amateur movie critic whose voice you're hearing today. My destiny was totally shaped because of Pulp Fiction, and for that, I'm eternally grateful. I'm Jason, thanks for watching, and this is Small Movie World, watching, talking and loving films.